It's 4 o'clock in Los Angeles. It's 6 o'clock in Chicago, and it's 7 p.m. in New York City. Hello, everybody. I'm Mad Dog Scipio, joined as I am each and every week. Heaven help me. By Amelia, the Pitbull Chapman. Do I want to even ask this question? How are you, Amelia?
I'm feeling a little bit better.
What happened?
I was feeling a little bit under the weather earlier today.
Well, then get over the. Damn it.
Right? We have a show to do.
This is What's the Buzz, America's Best Popcast. Tonight, if she shows up, I hope to God, we have an amazing singer, songstress, actor, producer, Roslyn Kind will be joining us tonight. Roslyn is an amazing song stylist. We'll hear some of her music tonight. I'm really anxious to speak to her. She's a really fascinating individual. She's made 3 appearances on the Ed Sullivan Show, which is a big deal when they call you back on the Ed Sullivan Show. Famous people that made 3s on the Ed Sullivan Show. Who do you think they are?
Elvis Presley, it has to be one of them.
Roslyn Kind, Elvis Presley, and one more.
Beatles.
The Beatles.
Yes.
Yep. She's in a very exclusive club. I'm wondering if she even knows that.
She probably don't.
I'm going to tell her when she gets here. If she gets here, Harlan, get her here. Anyway, while we're waiting for Roslyn to get here, we have an interesting couple of days coming up. We have tomorrow night. You guys asked for it. We're going to give it to you. We are going to give it to you. It's Conspiracy Corner. There you go.
Yes, it is.
We're going to do Conspiracy. Yep. There you go.
That should be the name of our show, Conspiracy Corner. You just named it.
I own that name.
Yes, Conspiracy Corner. Here we come.
I own that name. I have a show called Conspiracy Corner.
Yep, and you never know what's going to
come. Did you know that?
Yeah, now I do.
Well, now you do.
And guess what, people?
Yeah, we had. We have a show called Conspiracy Corner. It's actually oh God, when did we start? I was still with Shirley, God rest her soul. Oh my goodness. In fact, Marianne Howard was on the show with us back in the day.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, we're bringing it back then.
I don't remember. Yeah, it's been back. It's been years ago. But look, it's all good. You want to call it Conspiracy Corner, or we could just call it What's the Buzz? Like, this is our show. What's the Buzz?
Yeah. And we don't know what we're going to be talking about, so it's going to be a lot of different subjects that we can just talk about.
We talk about whatever the hell we feel like.
Whatever comes up. And we do have a couple of things we will probably bring up, but we're not going to tell you till tomorrow, so you're going to have to wait. You have to join us in live tomorrow. So.
Why you do that to my audience?
Because they're just going to have to wait and watch.
All right, go ahead.
Right? They're just going to have to watch us tomorrow.
Yeah. So. Hang up for a little bit and watch. Yeah?
Yes.
Anyway. So we have an interesting show Wednesday. I was going to say Thursday. We're not here Thursday. Wednesday, we are doing a salute to the King of Broadway. Here's Roslyn.
Goodness.
There she is.
Do you hear me and see me?
Yes.
I can. Absolutely. You are
what a
gorgeous young lady. How are you?
Yeah. Thanks, Harlan.
Can you see and hear us okay?
Harlan, I love you, babe.
What a pain in the neck. I always have a problem with StreamYard.
It's the weirdest thing, Roz. By the way, everybody, Roslyn.
Oh, I'm on live.
Everybody.
Yes, hello.
Everybody, Roslyn. There you go. So I'm going to get into this in just a second, but you're here. That's the main thing. You're here. Yeah. Thank you guys for getting her here. Let me tell everybody a little bit about you. Can we do that real quick?
Sure.
Tell everybody a little bit about Roslyn. And I wrote this for you, so if you hate it, it's all on me, kid.
I was trying to fix myself up because I was so famished trying to get in.
Roslyn Kind is a joyful performer whose musical influences include some of the greatest songbooks in contemporary and standard music, including Cole Porter, Sammy Kahn, Jerome Kern, Burt Bacharach, and a man who will be the subject of our show Wednesday night, Jerry Herman. I'm going to talk to you about that, Ros. We got a show dedicated to Jerry Herman on Wednesday. She is familiar to both national and international audiences for headlining appearances at some of the most sought-after and prestigious venues in the world, including Lincoln Center, LA's The Greek Theater, the Cafe Royale in London, and in 2006, she made her much sought-after, anticipated Carnegie Hall debut, which, and I want to tell you something, Amelia, listen to this one because this is for real. This blew me away when I read this. And Carnegie Hall, by the way, just as a side note, that's a tough crowd.
Yes.
That's a tough crowd. If you make them happy, you've done something good.
You know what? You have to hold on. I forgot to put my lights on. Wait a second.
She wants to see us right lights.
She debuted there with her frequent musical collaborator and her friend Michael Feinstein, an amazing composer. And that appearance was described by the New York Times as, and I quote, a rapture in song. We're going to talk a lot about this woman tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, her first appearance on What's the Buzz, America's podcast. My new best friend, Roslyn Kind.
How are
you, kid?
Hey, how are you? Why do you call
wonderful.
Mad Dog really your middle name?
Me, I'm going to be in trouble tonight. I can see it coming.
So behave yourself.
I like this one already, man. I like you already. You got chutzpah, Bubby. This is Roz and my kind of people. My kind of people. Just as a side note, I want everybody to know that you've been doing this a long time, and I have to say, in the interest of full disclosure, and Harlan may get mad at me for this, but I've had your personal phone number, young lady, for over a year already.
You have?
Yes, and I'm going to straight up, I'm confessing to the world. Listen to this one.
My home.
I have had your phone number for over a year, and out of pure fear of rejection, because I will tell you, I'm a fanboy. I am a fan of yours. I know who you are, and forget about the other stuff, but I know who you are as a performer. I was one of those little snot noses that saw you on the Ed Sullivan Show in '69 and '70.
Long time ago.
Do you know that you hold kind of an unofficial record? Okay.
What?
There were 3 threes on the Ed Sullivan Show who made 3 appearances. Elvis Presley, the Beatles, and Roslyn Kind.
Really? Were they
No
only
shit.
You can't.
I shit you not.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll tell you another one. I was
Amelia,
on
am I lying?
You're not lying.
My first appearance on Ed Sullivan was February 9th, 1969. And the Beatles' first appearance was February 9th, 1964. Did you know that?
And your first appearance was the day my sister Gina, rest her soul, was born. That day. The day you did that appearance, my sister was born.
Because my great niece was born on February 9th also.
Remarkable, isn't it? Remarkable. Mm-hmm. I am thrilled to have you here, but let me tell you why. There's a little story here. I've had your number for quite a while, and out of pure fear of being rejected, because I was going to call you personally invite you on the show. Mm-hmm. And so, look, you can't make this shit up, okay? This is for real. So, you can't. You really can't. And so, a year goes by, and I forget it for a little bit. Then I get an email from my friend Harlan Bowl and says, how'd you like to have Roslyn Kind on the show? Are you shitting me? Yeah. Hello. Come on. Like now, yes, please. You know? So yeah, for real. I want to tell you straight up. I'm that little kid still, and I want to. Yeah, and you're not that much older than me, by the way.
No,
No.
I'm not gonna put it out there, but
Well, I just
Right, you
turned
never ask.
65.
a
I
woman
just
never should tell her age.
Exactly. I was gonna
You
say.
don't need to. We got Google.
What? She's only 50 years old. What are you talking about?
I know, right? So, but I'll tell you the truth. I just turned 65, and I grew up with music like Cole Porter, Sammy Kahn, Ira and George Gershwin. Oh my God, let me think. Alan and Marilyn Bergman, Bacharach, of course, Jerry Herman.
Hal David.
Yeah, I mean, I want to tell you what. I was very blessed. I grew up in a musical family. There was always music playing. And my mother liked the standards because she was a piano player. And my father liked old doo-wop. So I had a broad base of music. And I ended up becoming a disc jockey. And that's how I've been doing this for 45 years. Yeah. So enough of me. I want to talk about you. I got you here. I'm not letting you go now. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I'm thrilled to have you. I really, really am. This is a long time coming for me. It really is. Because, like I said, I am a fan. I want to talk to you a little bit about some of your influences. As you stated, in '69, you made your first of 3 appearances on Ed Sullivan. At the time, the one thing that stood out, everybody spoke of this one virtue you have that you can't hide.
Only one?
Only one?
Well, the one, that amazing voice that you got a set of pipes, kid.
Yeah, thank you. It's a gift from the man upstairs.
Right? And
So
the other
blessed.
thing that's a gift from the man upstairs is knowing when to use it, and you used it well and to your advantage. There was, of course, and look, it's the elephant in the room. There was, of course, the initial comparison to your sister, but you can't hide that.
No, it's a fact of my being here.
Exactly. But the other thing is, if you, ladies and gentlemen, I challenge you, please, to do this. Go find Roz on YouTube. Do that. Then go find her sister. Do that too. I challenge you, with your eyes closed, tell me the difference between the two. I'll tell you, I know the difference. There is one difference, and I will say this, and if Barb wants to bitch at me, she can, okay? But I'm going to say this. The difference is, and it's one simple quality, soul. You can't buy soul. You've got it or you don't. Okay? Now, she's got a certain quality, but you have a soulfulness to your voice that's just exquisite. And I'm going to use that word. It's exquisite.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome.
I would have said I sing in a lower key.
Well, and
Our range is a little different. Some places it meets, but in some places it's different. She's at the top of the piano, and I'm a little more in the bottom.
And that's where, and I think that's where I'm going with this. You have that. There's a soulfulness about that. That vocal quality separates you from your sister. Can we tell everybody who your sister is?
Sure, why not?
Roslyn's sister is Barbara Streisand. You might have heard of her. She's been around a little bit. I'll get her on the show. If she meets my criteria, she can come on. But Roz got the first dibs on that stuff. Talk to me about, let's get serious a little bit. Because I'm a bit of a jokester, as you can tell, but I can be serious too. I want to get serious and ask you, who were your favorite influences? Not necessarily your first, but your favorite influences musically. Who do you like to listen to?
Well, I was born in the Beatle era was my era, the British invasion. So I listened, Petula Clark and Dusty Springfield and the Beatles. I mean, that was my whole teens era that I listened to the radio. But who I love and who I love to emulate and I really glommed onto was Shirley Bassey.
Wow. Amazing.
I loved her drama. And I think I kind of, it influenced me very much because I'm so passionate when I sing. And
remarkable.
I would get lost in her passion when I would listen to her.
Can I tell you something? I think that whether you know it or not, I think subconsciously you inherited that or you stole some of that for yourself, because I got news for you. You clearly got that soulfulness. You clearly got that from listening to her, for sure.
Thank you. I think it's also who I am as a human being. I mean, I very much come from the heart.
Yeah.
My message is heartfelt. In my later years, but my mid-later years, not as old as I am now, but several years ago, but when I was older than a kid.
Sure.
And I went through some of life's problems. My career was in different up, down, sideways. I had a marriage that didn't work out. And I went at this time, it was 1984. I went for a past life regression. And I only went back to one lifetime. And that lifetime told me what my purpose was, because that was my question. Why am I here? For what reason am I here? Because this is going this way, this is going that way.
Mm-hmm.
All the things that I would have liked. I thought I'd be a mom before I left my 20s. I thought, none of that transpired for me. And I had a marriage that there was love, but it just didn't work out. And I had to know where I was going. People come in your life, people go.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know everybody has an agenda.
Yeah.
Not everybody
Absolutely.
really comes from their heart.
Yeah.
And I found my purpose in that past life regression, that I came into this life to heal. And how do I heal? With my voice.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely,
ever
no
since
question about it.
1984, my career and my messaging became very, very different.
Yeah.
And where I am today, it's even more so, because I want to bring the world together. I want hearts to come together. I'm tired of this hatred. I'm tired of people fearing other people who they should learn to love with an open heart and exchange values and talk about it and have peace and love in this world.
Bravo.
Instead of this division and
Yes.
fear and people threatening you. I mean, this is not a fun time.
That's not.
Yeah. Oh, we believe me, we know. We hear it all the time on the show, Raj. We really do.
It's a very
one of the fascinating things about you is that in some people, and I know we've had them on the show, we've had famous siblings on the show here. And there are ups and downs to being a famous sibling, particularly a younger sibling. You did something remarkable. Rather than run away from it, you embraced it. That's something that a lot of people don't do in the entertainment business.
You don't?
No.
How do you not embrace somebody who's your family, who you love, and who you're proud of?
Well, and that's the difference. That's the difference. We've had people here, Amelia, please tell me if I'm lying.
No,
We've had people here who have done everything, but including changing their name and their appearance to separate themselves, to remove themselves from who they are. Well, you can't run away from your DNA, and you are who you are.
That's what I've always said when they said, "Oh, she's too much like," or "She's this." This is who I am. And I remember working in a show and taking a class with an acting teacher. I said, "Oh my God, you move your leg back and forth just like your sister." I said, "Excuse me? Do you think I studied this stuff? This is like natural. It's natural. It's a fact of birth. It's a fact of, like you said, the DNA connection."
Yeah.
And it's like some people say, "Oh, she's a copy." I'm not.
No, and that's
and I won't
thank
deny
you
it.
for going there. I want to thank you first of all for going there, because you're not a copy, you're not a wannabe. You are Roslyn Kind, performer, actress, producer, singer. You may have even written a song or two, for all I know.
Only one.
Okay, okay.
Only one.
But
That
if it was a good one, that's all you need is one.
Just the one, right?
But here's the thing, though.
It was something that was coming from my time being regressed and being spiritual, because I got very spiritual. I only can work with light and with love.
Absolutely.
With hearts. And
Amelia, you want to tell Roslyn what I do for a living?
But
Yes,
what do you do?
He's a psychic.
Are you really?
I am for 55 years. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. I've done.
I'm into that. I mean,
I have
so
many celebrity clients.
Yeah.
I did, Roz, I did a reading. I had, believe it or not, of all the people, I had a gossip columnist here 3 weeks ago.
Anybody I know?
Let me tell you what happened. I'm going to tell you what happened. I gave him a 5-minute on-air reading. I'm still going through my emails of people who want readings from that. It's crazy.
Yes.
I'm going to have to talk to Harlan about that. I need an agent now.
Yeah, right?
But the fact that you are spiritual, the fact that you are gifted is no accident. They are mutually inclusive. They do go together, and they are intended to go together. And thank you for not being a copy, and thank you for being an original, because you are. One of the things I want people to understand, the purpose of having Roz here tonight is, first of all, to make me happy, because I love this lady. I love her music. I really do.
He does.
Look,
He does.
I mean,
Thank you.
there are certain people who love your sister, and certain people who love you, and
Why can't they
other
love
people who could.
Right.
Yeah, and other people who could give a shit about anything. But here's the thing, though, and that's fine. There's a place for everybody.
Right.
There's a place for everybody. So when I had the opportunity to get you here, you bet your behind I was jumping on this stuff. It's important. I want people to know that good music still exists, and you can understand the lyric, and you can fall in love with a melody, and you don't have to have a boom, boom, boom beat in your head, to enjoy good music. Sometimes it's not about dancing your ass off. Sometimes it's just about grabbing a hold of your wife and going, "Give him a kiss, babe." I'm serious.
Yeah.
We're going to hear some of your music tonight. We're going to actually close out the show with your the newest that I know is called "The Look of Love," which is an old Burt Bacharach song, and "The Island," and we're going to see that video in its fullness tonight. I'm playing the whole thing.
The first time I put myself in one of my videos, the full produced, cast, the whole thing, a production for a 6-minute short, and we won the music video festival in Rome for best cover song.
I
Got
know.
an honorable mention in Europe. And we were screened by the Philadelphia Women's Film Festival this past month.
Yep. I know that too.
I'm very proud of it, because it's my first time producing.
I'm proud of it for you.
And music for a producer and singing. This was the first real live kind of mini film.
One of the things I was fortunate enough to come across, and we're going to hear it tonight, is a Jerry Herman medley that you did. And like I said, we have a tribute to Jerry on Wednesday. A representative of his estate will be here. The curator of all things Jerry Herman will be here Wednesday. And I thought, you know what, this is absolutely serendipitous. This was supposed to happen this way, including you almost not showing up.
know. He's like,
Oh,
please be here,
man.
please be here.
I
He
have
was
to
so
tell you,
excited.
I'm terrible with the internet. I'm terrible with computers. I always have to have help.
Yeah. When Harlan called me and said she has to download YouTube, I was like, why? I don't get that. Anyway, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it all. I want to hear a little from Amelia. Amelia, you haven't said much. I'm surprised because you usually talk my ear off, but go ahead.
He tells you don't like me interrupting, so be quiet. He doesn't, I swear.
Wait a second, Amelia. Do I like? Is your middle name Pitbull?
Yeah,
Is
he
that
calls
what
me
that said?
Pitbull.
Amelia the
Mad
Pitbull
Dog and
Chapman.
Pitbull?
Yes.
Yep.
I earned that one.
From what does this come from?
I earned that one.
Well, the show was almost called the Dog Pound, so I'm the Mad Dog and she's the Pitbull.
Right?
Go ahead,
No, it was when you were younger, you said that you spent a lot of time in your room, singing and things like that. And I can see the way you sing now with all that passion and just the passion in your voice. And I know that you really get into your music. And is that what got you to want to do the video as well?
No, because I've been singing, but I just kept myself for some reason. I never put myself in a video. And
Oh.
with The Look of Love in the Island, I had a total storyline that I wanted to present for the Times, which was, don't be afraid that you can't find love after a certain age. And love is love is love. I had to make those two statements within this video.
Oh, wow. That's a beautiful. I saw the video ahead of time.
Because of the times we're in.
Yes. And also the lady that you chose, I saw that they confused you with her. They thought that was you.
Lovely. And I needed her to be a dancer because I studied dance and I needed her moves to be sensual. And she actually was not an actress. She's a dancer and a choreographer.
Oh, fantastic.
And Hunter, who played the part of my fella when I was younger, he is a doctor. He's studying to be a doctor.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that interesting? And he was the last one we interviewed.
Wow.
Well, who plays your husband at the end of the video? The tall, good-looking guy that I want to smack because he's so freaking good-looking.
Well, he wasn't tall, but you know what? When we met, I thought he was so adorable. He reminded me of Ralph Waite from the Waltons.
Oh,
really?
He had the most incredible blue eyes. And when we met, it was just like a real connection. He was very easy. I could see myself, that we could have something that would be real, kind of. And the kiss that's in there was not directed.
And I heard you got lost in those eyes, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
We have somebody. Happy Cat is in the chat room. Happy Cat says she's a queen, and the voice is, quote, in her DNA. Look at that. That's beautiful. Thank you, Happy Cat.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about forging your own path. One of the things that every performer wants to be known for is their particular style, how they connect to an audience. Some people connect. They're very people friendly, and I've been a participant in other performers who they're just as gregarious as could possibly be on stage, but as soon as they walk behind that curtain, it's leave me alone, get out of my face. I've been around those kind of people. I've been in this business a long time, and I'm gonna tell you something. I've seen every kind of personality there is, and I still can't get over the fact that there are people who exist today that are like that are just like, with the nose up in the air. That's not Roz is my kind of people. Okay.
Yes.
Rozzy is my kind of people. I want to tell everybody a little bit about you here. Roslyn recently performed with her sister Barbara Streisand during a sold-out multi-city U.S., Canadian, and European tour, further bolstering her acclaim as a much sought-after performer. In addition to performing historic duets, Roslyn Kind shared the stage with her nephew, Jason Gould. We're going to talk about that in a second. And famed trumpeter Chris Botti. And I love Chris Botti. And tell everybody your connection to Elliot and Jason Gould, would you please?
Jason's my nephew.
Yes.
And how?
And how the heck did you
end up being related to the Goulds?
How am I related to Elliot? With my
Yeah.
mother-in-law.
Well, I don't know. I don't live
You
with
don't
you.
know
babe.
that?
Barbara Streisand's
My
ex-husband's
sister
son.
met Elliot when she auditioned for I Can Get It For You Wholesale. And Elliot was a star. He was
Okay.
coming from being a chorus boy. It was his first starring role. And I was a kid in the lower grades in school wearing corrective shoes.
Right. Honey.
No, I love
See, I
Elliot.
don't know this stuff. You have to tell me, I'm not, look.
Elliot is Jason's dad.
Yeah.
I mean, when I
yeah,
did
well,
Saturday Night Live with Elliot, he brought me on and he introduced me, and now my son Jason's Aunt Rosie. It was like,
wonderful.
Did you get to
I'm
watch
very
his
family
puppy?
person.
Did
Go
you
ahead,
get to
Samuel,
puppy?
again.
Did you get to puppy sit yet for them?
You know what? I have puppy sit. And unfortunately, a few weeks ago, maybe a week and a half ago, Jason had to put Eli down.
Oh,
He was
no.
12 and he had heart failure and he was blind. But whenever he went away, I babysat my four-legged great nephew.
Oh.
Yeah.
With such love, and because I lost my own dog in 2000.
Yes, your Yorkie.
We've all been put in that position, sadly, but
Well,
true.
and I can't bring myself to get another puppy because when I had to put my puppy down, I couldn't take it. It's like something that came in my own womb. I was so distraught.
Isn't it brutal? It's like losing a kid.
It's the hardest thing you have to do. That unconditional love, and he traveled with me. He took vows with me when I worked at Provincetown. They dressed him up in curlers and brought him on stage.
Right?
Yeah, her cutest little Yorkie she had was so cute, Joshy.
Well, Roslyn, would you grace us with a song tonight by way of videotape?
Of course, my pleasure.
This is one of my favorites. It's called "There'll Be Time."
Oh my God!
So this is a good one. I love this one, and I love the Jerry Herman medley. But listen to this one first, folks.
There's a time and place we've yet to know. There's a sea we've yet to sail. Though we saw the mountain long ago, it's a peak we've yet to scale. There's another world we've yet to find. There's a world we've yet to lose. There's a winding road we've left behind, and another yet to choose. There's a tender journey yet to take, a sun that waits to rise, and there are promises we've yet to make, of days we'll spend, never end, in each other's eyes, and there'll be lovers' songs for us to sing in that place we've yet to be. There'll be time enough for everything, time for life, time for love, time for us, time for you, time for me.
Absolutely beautiful.
Beautiful.
So long ago. I haven't heard that in so long.
I love that. Can we talk about? Let's talk about that. You just said something really important. You haven't heard that in so long, but you know what? It's as current and topical today as it was the day you recorded it. That can be said for all of the standards.
Mhm.
Anything
They
that
live life. Yes, they do.
it really is the truth. You can take any of the songs that you recorded or perform in concert, and they'll be topical and current no matter what audience you sing them to. The
Right.
same cannot be said for today's entertainer.
That's true.
5 minutes after hearing a song, I've forgotten it already, which is a scary proposition. You know, this is beautiful stuff. You're very, very fortunate to have the gift that you have, because people will always, always, and I say this, this is my conviction. People will always, when it comes to push comes to shove, they'll always go back to the standards. They'll always go back to the classics, because you can count on them.
Absolutely. Yes.
Always count on the classics.
Absolutely.
When you record a song or you're performing, do you just go through the motions, or do you feel like a lot of people do? Obviously, when you sing, you want someone to feel,
Yeah.
right?
Oh my God, yes.
I felt
Okay,
that.
But the point is that if I'm not feeling it, there's no way that anybody.
Well, that's where I wanted to go with it. That's exactly where I want to go with it.
I was just starting to
do you-
cry
so
listening
you're-
to it because I hadn't heard it in so long.
do you have a need to feel what people are feeling, and empathy? Do you have to
Yes,
feel
I
that?
am empathic.
Because I can feel that with you, because I think that's why we connect.
Yeah.
I
I'm
think that's
empathic.
why we connect for
And
real.
That
I can
that
feel
song.
if somebody's in my audience and I see
Yeah.
them
Mhm.
sad, I will work toward them.
Yes.
Bring my attention. Look at. I love looking in people's eyes, whoever I can see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
That
then
song was so
but
powerful
I
to me.
have
Yeah.
to relate to my audience. I have to.
Mhm.
They have to
Yeah.
be part of me, and I want to be part of them.
Absolutely.
Amelia, questions for
Yeah,
Raj?
that song was so powerful to me. I'm surprised it wasn't a part like of a motion picture or something. That's
It
what I was
was.
imagining.
It was.
It was a motion picture.
It
Okay.
was. Yeah, it was on the soundtrack.
Like a 007 picture, probably. That's what I would think
No,
of it would
was
be.
it was the story of a love and a guy that jumped off a bridge, the Tallahatchie Bridge. Remember?
Oh yes, I
Mhm.
remember that. Also,
Yep.
too, speaking of that, I heard that
It
you
was
wanted to do a
called Ode to
comedy.
Billy Joe.
Yeah, it's Ode to Billy. I remember seeing that
Mhm.
movie. I heard that you want to do a
You're
comedy
young,
show.
Amelia. You're so
I
young.
still
Shut up.
remember that movie. You told me to shut up. You hear that? I heard that you want to get into to do a comedy sitcom. Is that
Oh, I
still in
loved
the
it. I
works?
was with ABC Paramount at one
Mhm.
point, and I didn't. Our pilot didn't sell, and I got off it because I couldn't work on other channels guesting because I was signed to one particular channel.
I need to hook you up with my friend Mark Sotkin.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
Mark
Is he
Sotkin is
sitcom?
the guy who he wrote, produced, and directed The Golden Girls.
Yes.
Oh my God! And I
Yeah,
love
he's
it.
a very,
May she rest
very
in
dear
peace.
friend of mine.
Estelle Getty.
Very dear friend of mine.
Yes.
Yep. He's had
Yeah,
some clunkers along the way, but only one or two.
Yes.
The art of the song is something that's all but lost, except for people who perform live. Given the opportunity to perform a multi-selling album or performing in front of 500 people, what do you take?
To perform the album in front of those 500 people?
Well,
Or
I
you
hadn't
think-
thought about that
or you-
scenario, but yeah, why not?
Being in the studio as opposed to being in front of a live audience.
Exactly. Well,
Yes.
because my
I-
gut
I
tells me
love-
that you're a
I love
people
the-
person.
I'm a live audience person.
And there are some people that are, and Roslyn, can you explain to me why there are some people that are not? What is it about certain people that can only perform in a studio?
I don't know. I can't even tell you that because I'm not that way, but there are some people that feel more secure in the studio and they're nervous in front of an audience.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
I was when I first started out, I remember holding a mic.
I don't get
You're like this.
Well, until you garner your feet and your confidence,
Mhm.
you know, because
Yeah,
until then people are telling you how good you are, but you don't quite believe it yet. I mean,
yeah.
I have never believed that everything I do is perfect and it's wonderful. I'm always questioning myself.
Yeah.
I always feel, it's not. I don't know how good it is. I don't know. My mom always taught me, let people tell you. You don't go out and tell them. She never bragged about her kids. My
Yeah.
mom.
What do you
How
do to get ready
important was
for
music to you growing up?
What?
How important was music to you growing up?
Oh, very important. I see,
Was it?
even from the first time I saw Davy Crockett on Disney, I sang Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier, born on the mountaintop of Tennessee.
Yay, we get a live performance. What do you do to get ready for a show before you get ready for a show? What is your preparation?
My preparation is to meditate and to say an
She
affirmation.
sings to my picture, dear Mr. Angela. No,
Oh gosh, I hope not. No, just kidding.
I'm kidding.
I need to be quiet and meditate, and my affirmation is very important to me because it includes asking the man above to always let me be the best that I can be,
Okay.
and to spread his message of love and light to whoever in my audience who needs to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good. Oh,
And
that's
to me, and just to keep my feet always on the right path.
mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
And I don't go on stage.
That's a
I
job.
have to do that before I go on stage. I get nervous.
Oh wow.
Do you really? You still get what they call stage fright?
Honey, I think anybody who tells you they're so is full of it.
Yeah.
Because to me, everybody who I've seen who gets nervous prior are usually the best.
Mm-hmm.
I get nervous before every show. I really do. And
I don't buy usually the people that are so confident aren't that great.
well, there's something to be said for that.
You have to live up to your last performance. You have to, want to connect. It's very nerve-wracking. But once you get out there and you hear your overture, or you hear something, it's like it gives
but
you
the other side of that too is, is it real confidence, or is that false bravado? Or are people like that just as insecure as everybody else?
I think your adrenaline. It's your adrenaline. You have to get your adrenaline going.
That's true.
And I'm just never that sure because every show is different. You don't know from audience to audience. Somebody may be very reactive with you, and sometimes you have the ones that are quiet and sitting on their hands, and you don't know. That makes it harder, especially if you're funny,
sure.
and you're not responding to comedy. It's like, it's a very personal thing, and I take it to heart because I have this job that was bestowed on me to lift people up,
right?
To bring hearts up, to help them connect, and that was a lesson I needed to learn in my early years. I had things in my life till I came to that point where I was of light, and I need anybody who I work with anymore has to come from their heart and have that light from within.
Yeah.
I can't work with agendas and egos. And
Oh my God.
Yes.
I have to
How do you deal with people like that? Because you're talking our language here.
Yes.
How do you deal with someone?
Even when I did theater, I had a look in the actor's eyes. I remember a director when I was doing my pilot. He said to me, "It's so adorable what you're doing because you're looking right at it, but you're upstaging yourself." Because that I have to have the connect. Right. I had to be taught not to upstage myself. And to me, it's like, and when you're a company on stage, that's where your attention needs to be.
Sure.
And that's how everything I do is, I love to look in people's eyes. I want to see this. I want to see the heart. I want to reach the heart.
When you perform with your sister, is there an expectation? Do you have expectations from yourself, or does an audience have expectations from the two of you? You're both giant personalities. She has a certain way of performing. You have a certain way of performing. When you're actually going to see a video tonight of the two of you together. Believe it was recorded in Israel.
Wow.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about then. Okay. In fact, we'll why don't we do that now and let's talk, okay?
Okay.
Let's take a look. Watch this, folks.
And I'll pretend to be me. Yes. Okay, sis. Are you ready? For many years already, since I'm a teen. I know. When am I gonna give you a big chance? Smile, though your heart is weak. Smile, even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun come shining through for you. Light up your face with gladness. Hide every trace of sadness. Although a tear may be ever so near, that's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Though your heart is aching, smile, even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, get by. That's the time you must keep on trying. Ah, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile, 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 smile. Just smile.
Tell your sister she's
Beautiful.
okay. She might have a career too.
I can see what you mean by the octave below and high that you both are different.
And
Yes.
you can, that's the purest way
Mhm.
you can tell the difference between the
Yes.
voices.
Yes, you
Listen to
can.
them together.
Yes.
Listen to Roz and listen to Barb together. Okay? Barb's okay. Roz is wonderful.
Yes.
You are funny.
He's funny. Oh.
Oh,
You
yeah.
hear that? You're
Amelia, she
funny.
goes, oh, he's funny right now.
So let me know about this project that you have with the Latin market. With
Well, it's not together yet, but we're working. My co-producer Malik Hanna, who's also a singer, and worked on our video, and we got very close. You know, it's funny when you meet people of light, you generate and you relate. It's like you've never been apart. You're like you've known each other a long time. And so we said that we would like to duet together. We have another song being written for us by somebody that writes for him. That's an original. And then we also, he introduced me to Paulina and Pablo Aguirre, who are originally from Ecuador and living here in Los Angeles. And they are Latin Grammy winners. And they wanted to work with me. And we said, well, why don't we do a duet? of some sort with me and Malik. And I said, well, rather than doing something in English, why don't we do something in Spanish? Since they are Latin Grammy winners.
There you go.
So I'm looking forward to that. I also have
Beautiful.
a group called World's First Cinema that are writing. I'm in the middle of writing. I'm supposed to get together with them in the studio, and they're writing me a gorgeous song. Also, we met, we talked. They know what my message needs to be, and it's contemporary. It's today, but it's so beautiful, and the lyrics are brilliant. I think we still need another verse, but they are so brilliant. And I'm looking forward because I also need to be different. I need to do things that are original.
Necesitas estar diferente.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So there's
All
three
that in
new
Spanish.
projects that I'm looking. And then hopefully I'm going to return to live performance. And I would love to do a show, a big show, but about healing, kindness, because of the name.
Yes.
And bringing hearts together.
Yes, absolutely.
Roslyn, let me throw some names at you. These are some composers. Your thoughts in 1 or 2 word thought. Sammy Cahn. What do you think of Sammy Cahn?
Well, he was great. I mean, he was a fabulous, for the movies and things. And Sinatra sang a lot of his stuff, right?
I got this funny feeling that you knew most of the people on this list here.
I didn't know him personally. He was before my time.
Oh, okay.
Remember, she's only like 50.
Did you know Burt? Did you know Burt Bacharach?
Yes, I love Burt.
Okay. Talk to me about his sensibilities in writing. He often wrote, at least according to his autobiography, he often wrote from personal experience.
Mm-hmm.
Good idea or bad idea to let the world know that you have problems?
I think it's a good idea.
Okay.
I think if it's something you want to put out there to be true to yourself. I sing a song on stage that's from The Baker's Wife called Meadowlark, and it's one of my tour de force pieces, and I've related it to my grandmother giving me a message. I took it totally out of the show, and it has a whole other meaning.
Right.
Stephen Schwartz said, I don't believe how she sings my song, because I made it personal.
How about somebody like Johnny Mercer?
Yeah. I mean, I really don't know them very well. I know some of their stuff, but I'm not really. When I went into the business, I went more into the era of my time, of my starting. So I was a teenager, and I was the 60s. And I think the only ballad I did was I Want a Sunday Kind of Love.
Oh, okay.
And I know a la, torch singing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then in a medley of Sunday songs, I did some, Sunday Sweet Sunday and oh God, there was
a composer you know very well, Michael Feinstein.
Michael Feinstein, yeah.
Feinstein.
He loved it. He's all American songbook. He once said to me, "You need to do more." He recommended things to me, and I said, "That's great, but I don't relate to that. Certain things I don't relate to. I won't sing." Years ago, I turned.
You went right there. Oh my God, you went right there. Beautiful.
Let's
talk about that.
I turned down Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head.
Oh, wow.
When I was at RCA because it was too trite.
And BJ Thomas.
And look at what BJ did with it, right?
Exactly. I turned it down. And what else? Oh, The Way of Love. The Way of Love is a way.
Oh, sure.
Right? They brought it to me in those lyrics, and I didn't feel those lyrics. So they rewrote the lyrics for me. They rewrote the lyrics for me to "Can I Stop the Rain?"
Oh,
gotcha.
So I had a whole other thing, and it couldn't have been bad because Edie Gourmet recorded it after me. She recorded the lyrics that I had written. But who had the hit was Cher years later with the original lyrics.
I got one for you. Here's a an interesting oops moment. Ike and Tina Turner wrote the Proud Mary, right? And performed it. It was actually written for Elvis Presley.
Wow.
He turned it down. Listen, just to show you how things work, right?
Right.
He turns it down. Years later, it was one of the most requested songs in his act. Believe in that?
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
Wow.
Another faux pas. It's crazy. Turning down what you think isn't right for you, but it's perfect for somebody else.
Yeah.
I can't even think about raindrops keep falling on my head without hearing BJ's voice now.
Right.
It's interesting, very interesting. What's next for you? Where do you go now? What do you do next?
Well, like I
What
said,
do you want to do?
I'm looking to go into the studio. I don't know which song is going to be ready first to work on. It could be the one from First World Cinema.
Okay.
And what was that called? Let me get the title for you because it's so beautiful. But it's
Okay.
it's still in the works. It's
Oh.
titled right now "Hopeless Dreamer."
Oh.
And it's a brilliant lyric and very different for me. It's not like your regular theater piece or something. It's very different. So it takes me into a younger realm for the younger kids too. But
Beautiful.
it's still
Wow.
heartfelt with beautiful lyrics.
Remarkable.
Um,
Do you want people to listen to your music and say, "Oh, that was a great song," or do you want them to listen to your music and go, "That touched me"?
Interesting. Yeah. I think I like the fact that it touches them. Even when my biggest dream was years ago when I was working in Vegas and Elvis was in the main room and some of his musicians played my show. And I said, what is it that you love when playing for Elvis and stuff? And they said, well, it's always like a happening. It's always a happening.
Yeah.
And I always took that to my thought and my heart, but in a little different way. To me, what would I would love my ultimate dream would be not like I see like a big mountaintop. And I think you can think of Jesus, a mountaintop, and people are gathering around.
Oh yes.
Not because of me.
Yeah.
Because of the message that's coming to their heart.
There you go.
That's what I was gonna say. Yes.
Exactly.
It's not me.
Exactly.
It's the universe. It's God working through me.
We talk about you are so on our level. I gotta tell you, Harlan better get you back here often.
I know, right? We need to have her back again. Absolutely.
Well, it's interesting that that we're having this conversation. We've had this conversation often on this show. It seems to always come back to our connective spirits. It really, really does, because we're all connected in some way. Just something silly, okay? You talked about seeing Elvis in Vegas. Amelia's husband, Jeff, worked for Graceland. He worked for Elvis. He worked he was the landscaper for Graceland. I met Elvis in 1977, about a month before he died. Wonderful, wonderful guy. And I had his TCB necklace. He took off and I had that. And I gave that away. But we're all connected in some strange, odd, peculiar way. I'm going to ask you to do something for me. When we go off here, just hang out with me for about 30 seconds after we go off the air, because I want to give you something. Okay?
Okay.
But before we do anything, I want to make sure that you get your plugs in. I want to make sure people know where they can see you. Tell everybody where they can find you, where they can see you, where they can buy your music.
I have a website, roslynkind.com. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok.
There you go.
And
you got all the big five there.
You can buy my things online. Right now, I haven't been doing hard copies. I've been just selling streaming online, working towards an album, a different album from the stuff I'm doing now.
Right.
To finish it up. It's taken me a lot longer to do, but.
Let me volunteer to you, young lady, that if there's anything we can do here to promote your music, to put you out there, to put your face on, I will do it in a heartbeat.
Oh,
absolutely.
Thank you so much.
You are quite.
Thank you.
I'm
Yes.
honored. I really am.
Absolutely.
I'm not like Amelia. You've seen me in with the biggest of the biggest stars. Okay,
Correct, right?
I'm going like Gaga fanboy
He's
on
like
Roz
speechless
right
right now. Usually he had more to say.
Yeah, but I got news for you. I need another show. Okay,
I know, right? We do.
I gotta get another show going here. I'll tell you what. This is a great one. We are going to go out with some of the most beautiful music you'll ever hear. This is The Look of Love and The Island. Her name is Roslyn Kind, and she is a gem. I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, listen to the music. You won't be the same. Grab your girlfriend, your husband, your wife, because it's one of them kind of songs. Nita, I'm coming up. On behalf of Amelia, the Pitbull Chapman, on behalf of Roslyn Kind, amazing. I am the Mad Dog, Angelo DeCipio, and we'll see you tomorrow night on What's the Buzz, America's best podcast.
Of love is in your eyes, a look your smile can't disguise. The look of love, it's saying so much more than just words could ever say. And what my heart has heard, well, it takes my breath away. Make believe we've landed on a desert island. Bathe me in the water, warm me in the moonlight, taste me with your kisses, find my secret places, touch me till I tremble, free my wings for flying, and catch me while I'm falling. Keep your arms around me like there's no tomorrow. Show me how you love me on a little island. Not a soul can see us. Show me how to love you. Teach me how to please you. Lay your dreams beside me. Only stars will listen to our cries and whispers. You were made to love me, and I was made to love you. Keep your arms around me. Lose yourself inside me. Make it last forever. I can see the island shining in the distance. Now to hold you, feel my arms around you. How long I have waited just to love you. Now that I have found you, don't ever go. Don't ever go. I love you so. Of love is in your eyes, a look your smile can't disguise. The look of love, it's saying so much more than just words could ever say.